This is going to get hurt a little bit, but apparently he enjoys it. But don't try this, okay? If you feel, yeah, well, you don't. I'll make you try. That's different. And don't worry. Should something happen to you, we have other volunteers. To show. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the. Well, let me mix it a little more. I really want you to get hurt. So as soon as you probably don't see back there, so you will be their witness. As soon as I put it in the water, you see that there are bubbles coming from the water, and the water is changing color. Right away, the electricity is much more, and it's interacting with the water. Now you put it away, all the way back there. Let's see how you feel. Anything yet?
Yeah, so a lot closer. We're a lot further away.
There you go. So yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you. So yeah, good. Our first volunteer was survived the test. So yeah, what you saw here is that if you are in not a cold tap water or pure water, you are very in risk of danger. But you see that if you know the trick, you can still put your hand in the water if your water is pure. So the kid that I showed at the end, that put his hand in the water with the live wires, it wasn't anything strange he was doing. He just knew that he shouldn't be connected, and like if his body was connected to ground or whatever conductor beside the water, it would go through his body. But he knew that the electricity only goes through his hand. So tricks. You don't need to learn these tricks, okay? Just know that these are fake. That's my point. Don't try them at home. Now, what was I gonna try next? Oh yes. Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna turn on. I have a 150 watt lamp here. I'm going to turn this on with the same wire, but exposed wires. Let me put them further apart and show you. Now I turn off the fuse yet first. Okay, I'm gonna have this wire exposed, right? And I'll need another volunteer. You, come here. You seem to be here. Yeah, what's your name? Susie. Steve? I just know Steve. Okay, so I'm gonna have live wire here. And so, no, that will kill you. Let's try something else. If I can connect it here. Okay, all's good. Okay, it's not turning on. What's that in? Oh. Good eyes. Still nothing though. Oh, there you go. Okay, now I'll let you. So this is 150 amp light, right? More than 1 amp is running through that wire. Should you touch it? Yeah. Oh, I mean, you have more people, like I said, so. Yeah, just.
What am I touching?
Live wire. You feel anything? You survived! Yeah! Thank you very much. A round of applause for her. Thank you very much. For not passing on the stage. Passing away. Like, what's the word for dying? I forgot. Anyways, so there was more than 1 amp of current through this wire, but she was able to touch it. Why? You've heard the term, it's not the voltage that kills, it's the current. That's a lie, okay? Voltage, well, that's a lie, yes. The thing is that the voltage is the energy required to move the charge, to create the current. It is what creates current. It's like a bullet that is shot through a gun. The gun would be the voltage, or for example, me shooting the gun. If I take a gun and shoot some person, yes, it's a bullet going through their body that kills them, but you hold the bullet responsible for killing someone or the person shooting it, right? So it's the voltage that creates it. But there are a couple of different factors. The voltage creates the current, and then the amount of time it takes that you are exposed to that energy. So basically voltage times current times time is energy. The amount of time, the amount of energy through your body is what that indicates how much hurting you're going to receive. Are you going to get completely burned or just get zapped? So what happens here? Yeah, for example, there might be 120 volts on this line, but this wire is a short circuit. The voltage across it is 0. So when she touches it, the voltage across her body is 0. It means that there is no current going through her body. It doesn't matter that there's she's touching 120 volts because she's not connected anywhere else to the ground or anything. There is no current running through his body. That's why, like on the electric boxes, you see they say danger, high voltage. You never see they say danger, high current. High current only matters if there is enough voltage. And for example, when you are touching a doorknob and you zap the doorknob, there is around 10 kilovolts of voltage on your body, and that's why you see an arc jumping from your body. It's a lot of voltage, which means there is a lot of current through your body too at the same time. But the thing is that the period of that pulse is like in order of nanoseconds, like 10 nanoseconds or something. The energy is so small that your body can take that much current. So again, these guys know the trick, right? So for example, if I go back and show you this guy, what he was doing when he was putting it in his mouth, beside the other tricks he might be doing, he's just putting, what happened? Did I turn off the screen when I tricked it? How do you turn this on again? Oh, remote, yes. Yeah, I killed your TV, sorry. It wasn't me, it was them. So yeah, when the guy put the wire in his mouth, it was only one side of the wire, right? The rest of his body was not connected anywhere. His skin is quite resistive. So when he's holding the wire separately and the voltage might not be that high, he might be doing a bunch of tricks combined together, right? So he can hold them, but when he puts it in his mouth, definitely his mouth is much less conductive. There would be much more current going through his body. But first he touched them together, if you see, so it's a short circuit. Then he puts it in his mouth, and it means that there's no current going through his body. So anyway, we can wait until, hopefully I didn't kill the TV. Oh, it's on? Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, maybe I have to redo the connection. Is it on? Yay! Thank you. So, yeah, this guy. So I'm guessing, for example, these are all tricks, right? So there must be a reason behind it. The guy is holding these two wires at lower voltage and probably DC too. AC runs more current through your body, so it might be DC. And then he connects them together and puts it in his mouth. Only one wire. It's only one live wire in his mouth. There's no other path to ground, so he survives. So these are all tricks. That's what I'm talking about, right? And the other type of fake video is about free energy. This one really pisses me off. People watch this video and they believe it. Like if you look at the like versus dislike ratio of his videos, it's like, I don't know, 10 times like to dislikes. It means that some people know that these are fake, but a lot of people don't. And you see in the comments, some guys say, oh, I tried it doesn't work. Where did I go wrong? It's a fake. So, it just makes me angry. So what is free energy? The definition of free energy, based on what these guys are doing, is that they are creating energy without spending any other energy. That's why it's free. No other energy is spent to make the energy you want. They are making electricity or power out of nothing, right? And there is no free energy, okay? You don't believe these things if you see them. I've been contacted with some company that's working on free energy. They fundraised like millions. So I don't know. Anyways, like the other type of free energy, you can argue that yes, wind, solar, hydropowers are all free. Yes, they are free, but you're converting one sort of energy to another sort of energy to use it, right? The definition of free energy in what we are talking about is that you're not spending any other energy, right? But there are two types. The first type is that, yeah, you're making energy out of nowhere. The other type of video is saying that you're harvesting unknown energy. Some people say that there are these energy sources in the universe. It's coming from like a fifth dimension, and we harnessed it, and they don't know where it's coming from. They just say Tesla, and then everyone believes them, right? Yeah. So, like the videos, the ones that show that they are making energy out of nothing is like this one. It's the video you see here. One of the things there is a motor, and the other one is a generator, and they are tied to each other. What happens is that you turn the generator, it creates electricity, gives it to the motor. The motor turns and turns the generator. The generator creates electricity, gives it to motor. The motor turns the generator, and it goes forever, and it has extra energy to power this light. And that's, well, the thing is that this definitely, like this kind of free energy, definitely contradict the laws of thermodynamics, the physics around us. If something like this happens, our entire universe collapses. This can't happen. Make sure this doesn't happen. And well, this is obviously fake because any system has some loss. Like the generator turning creates electricity with some loss, and then the motor turns with some loss and turns the generator. So the gain of the system is never, like the efficiency is not over 100%. It's like 80%, 70%. But these guys claim that, hey, we are making over 100% efficiency systems, which is impossible. And then the other type, the other video I saw is like this guy. A lot of people saw it. He glued some magnets on fan blades, and he brings another magnet close, and the bigger magnet pushes the tiny magnets away so that this motor continues turning. And because it's a motor turning, it's like a generator. He can't turn on a light bulb with it. He's using the magic of magnetism, right? So to show you that this is not impossible, I did the same thing because it's hard to actually see the magnetic lines, whatever they're called. So it's best to just demonstrate it with like an actual fan. And I have a strong magnet. Neodymium, yes, there you go. So, like, what happens is that if I bring it close, if you can see, it interacts with those magnets and moves them a little bit. But it's impossible for it to create a continuous there is no free energy, okay? Let's move on to the next subject. Oh, I know. I rigged it. So yeah, if you can see back there, I put two, well, it's under the tape, so I put two coin cell batteries. They make 6 volts, and they are wired to this tiny switch there, which is a special switch. It's called the reed switch, R-E-E-D. It's sensitive to magnets, so like when you bring a magnet close, it bends the contacts and they touch each other and close the circuit. So it's very likely what these guys did. So when you bring it close to that switch, it just closes the switch and this thing turns, right? Nothing special. But this video, like the video itself has like 10, 20 million views, and then when other people see that, hey, this guy got a lot of views, I need that many views. All of a sudden, there are this array of people, hundreds of them, that copy the same video and like flood the internet. And because there is so many of them, the people that don't know the science behind it believe it. They say, oh, so many people did it, it must be true. Now I made another one with actual magnets, and this one is not rigged, everything's fine. And these are actual magnets, so Yeah, you can see there. And if I move the magnet beside it, it can definitely move the thing, right? If I move it. But if I put it close, there is no way that you have a continuous force of magnetic field coming out, right? Energy. Like if I turn it like this, it will go back and stop in the same spot, always. So it's always stopping in the same spot. Because the magnets, some people ask that, so it's pushing the fields out. It's not pushing the fields out, it's not pushing energy out. What is coming out of the magnet is a force. It's like a gravity of the earth. The force is around us, but unless you let something go, that force doesn't convert into energy. It has the potential to do something, but it can't do it unless something moves around it, right? It's not going to continuously push energy out of it. I hope you understand. This doesn't work too. Good. Thank you. Now there are these other sources, there are these other people that claim that there are these unknown sources of energy that we use on, right? Yes. And some of them become very predatory. Predatory. Is that the correct pronunciation?
Predatory.
Predatory. Okay, thank you. Yes. So, meaning that not only they claim that something like this exists, they start charging people money to sell their devices. They have like a good following, and well, let me like show you this first guy. This guy, Daryl Anka, I don't know if he's working in the same area or not. He basically said that if you have a coil like that, if you wind it like this, it's gonna absorb the energy in cosmos and give you a lot of power, and you can power your world with it, and like it won't be using fossil fuels. But the fuel companies are against this technology, so they killed it or whatever. Anyway, this guy, to give you more background, he claims that some alien, Khan Bashar, channels through him and talks and provides the technology. That's what he actually claims, right? And he has a following. You would expect nobody would follow this guy, but like hundreds of people. And then if you watch his videos, if you search his name and watch his videos, there are these people that think he's a healer. So he charges people, brings them into his office and heals them with a special power that the alien provided. Oh my God. These guys are gonna shorten my life. And like there is this other guy, Mehran Kesh, his claim was that he invented this thing called makerfaire. Basically, it's a device that you plug into your outlet. It takes just a little bit of energy from your outlet, but outputs much more, one of those over unity, or maybe it's getting energy from somewhere. So it powers your house with only a little power from your outlet. Why would you need a little power from the outlet when this thing can feed back and power itself? But yeah, but he sells it online for hundreds of dollars. People buy it, plug it in. It might work. I mean, it might turn on your light. Nobody's going to measure the current drawn from the wall. They just see that, hey, it's powering my lights. But actually, it's just maybe just a short circuit from your wall to the lamps. You know, there are a lot of people like this. I saw some other guy was selling this big device for $3,000, $4,000 that with these special plates that are supposedly getting energy from somewhere. He claims that they are not batteries. And people, I've seen actually people comments that they spent $3,000 buying that thing, and they say, hey, why doesn't this work? Oh, it's in development phase. There might be a problem. So that like people fall for these things. That's what really makes me angry. And all these things really started, well, before this guy. This is our beloved Nikola Tesla, and you see that he's holding his head with his hand because his brain was so heavy that that was probably true too. He was a real genius. He changed the face of the world. He made electric generators, electric motors. He distributed AC power. He changed the earth. But then he fell in love with his Tesla coil. If I can wire it up. Tesla coil in itself is actually pretty useless, I would say. It's mostly for show and tell. It makes noises and, you know. But it contains like a huge amount of science in it. Like if you know exactly how this works, you know electricity very well. I should probably point it away from my laptop. That's the last thing I want to happen. We'll be paying for this if my laptop goes up in smoke. Now, this thing is a controller for that. This is not a wire, it's an optical fiber. So electrically these two are isolated, so that thing can zap me, that's the point. But I need another victim. You, come up, you're first. So, hello sir, what's your name?
Grant.
Grant.
Steve, sorry.
Steve, yes. You are almost wrong there. So, okay, it's not gonna blow up, right? Okay, everything's good. It's off, I think. Okay, right. So what it does, well, oh, the batteries are out. Oh no! I threw the batteries out of the controller. Let's see if I can push them back in, otherwise this is not gonna work. Oh no! What do I have? Anything? Okay. Maybe I can push it in like this. There we go. Good. Thank God. Yeah, apparently in my luggage I dropped them and the batteries popped out. So well, let me turn it on first. And you can see it in action. It's during daylight, so I don't know if there. Nothing's visible yet. Let me increase the frequency. Okay. So, what this thing is doing right now, if I explain, is that it is basically creating very high voltage, around 500,000 volts or maybe more, and that turns the air molecules into ions. So they start conducting, and you see the arc of electricity going through. And it sends arcs every, I don't know, whatever frequency I adjust it to. That's why it's like punching air at some frequency, and that's what you hear, right? It can even play music